Hello YouTube, my name is Vlad for Vlad.com, and what I have in front of me, I'm wearing gloves. Yeah, I was replacing the chip. Anyway, I'm wearing gloves. What I have in front of me is a beast. This is HP ZedBook. This is heavy as hell, and this is an insane laptop. Okay, let's open it and let's take a look what is inside. We have this huge touch pad with 3 beautiful buttons. We have track point, which is also beautiful, and the keyboard is just beautiful. It's I do like perhaps Lenovo better. Well, not perhaps, definitely like Lenovo better, but this is a good keyboard. Believe it or not, this thing has 32 gigs of RAM and it has a quad-core CPU with hyper-threading, so it's effectively 8 cores. Well, 4 cores plus hyper-threading, obviously. So let's turn this thing on and see just how fast this thing boots. It has an SSD, which it has 512 gigabytes of storage. So yeah, this is a beast. So first I'll be taking a look on what do we have inside. So again, this is quad-core i7-4810MQ, and if we start Task Manager, you can see how beautiful this actually looks like. So, as I have mentioned, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and it has 2 display adapters. Just to start a device manager. So it has an Intel HD 4600 and it has nVidia Quadro K2100M. Okay, I don't see anything. System information, alrighty then, in the bottom. Okay, Quadro, it is at 666 megahertz, which is nice. And yes, I was right. It has 2 gigs of DDR5 memory, and this thing is just working. This is a modern beast. It is a heavy beast, but it is a modern beast. It also has obviously Wi-Fi. Well, obviously. So let's take a look at what else do we have in the device manager. So obviously it has a validity sensor, which is a fingerprint reader. It has a Bluetooth. This is a generic driver. Unfortunately, I don't know which one do we have installed, but I will be taking a look once I open it just to show you what is inside. HD webcam, which is this webcam over here. This is actually by default. And as you can see, I don't know whether you can see it or not, but the keyboard is actually lit up. As you can see, this is quite nicely lit up keyboard, and there isn't too much of that light spill that you actually get with the other laptops. Don't get me wrong, it's not awesome, but it is great. Okay, so let me just turn on my lighting. Must say, this is a professional way to turn on the lighting. So it actually has a 4G modem, which is HPLT412. I believe that's Huey, I'm not quite sure, but I'll take a look. And network adapter, dual band wireless, AC7260 Ethernet, and well, that's basically it. Now, this is a full HD LCD, obviously, and this thing is working. It's working very well. So I'll be turning this thing off, and just to show you the well, what does it look like hardware-wise, and maybe to look in what's inside. Okay, so I move my lighting to the rear so that this thing that you can actually see the connectors. Now, why I hate these connectors that are so close, and I'm always pissed off about it. Okay, for example, in here I have a USB 3.0 to a SATA connector, and if you connect this connector, Basically, you cannot connect the extension, and no, you cannot even connect this D++. You can only connect the Thunderbolt. So basically, you lose two connections. So that kind of sucks. Anyway, we have USB, D++, Thunderbolt. This is rather huge. Exhaust. This is USB 2.0. Interesting. Kensington lock. This is Ethernet power connector. Nothing else on the rear except another USB. So we actually have 1, 2, 3. Well, okay, we have 4 USBs. But again, if you connect this thing, you won't be able to open your CD drive or to connect headphones / microphone. We have a SD card reader and VGA connector. Okay, let's take a look what's inside. Now, in order to open this compartment, all you need to do is to press this thing to the right and pull. And that's basically it. And in here we have 8 gigs of RAM and 8 gigs of RAM, which is 16, so obviously other 2 slots are underneath the keyboard. Here we have a BIOS chip. I guess it is nice that it is here, so maybe you can, if you have any problems with it, desolder it. And this thing looks like metal, so heat gun obviously would not be the problem in this case. Although I wouldn't be trying. We have an SSD, which is generic SATA. This is BIOS battery, and this is Huey LTE. This is a 4G modem, which is Huey, and this is a wireless, which is Intel. Yeah. I'll try to remove the keyboard. There are only 2 screws holding the keyboard, and we'll take a look at what's on the other side. But first, I will be removing the battery. Definitely. And I will be removing the CD drive because somehow I believe that there might be another screw which holds the keyboard, but there isn't any. Okay, it's that easy to remove. Okay, just a second. I need to see whether I have, maybe, no, there aren't any screws. This is actually quite easy to remove. And so what do we have in here? This is the nVidia, and here are the other 2 memory slots. So basically it is 4 times 8 gigs of RAM, and this is massive heatsink, which is actually bigger than I expected, but it does have to be big, so yeah. Well, there you have it. And that's basically all she wrote concerning this laptop, but this laptop is a beast, so. And it is quite easy to disassemble it, but I believe that any laptop that costs as much as this one should be easy to disassemble / well, clean. So yeah, there you have it. I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, please ask.